Dear students, see last time we studied about Ampere circuit law, and by using Ampere circuit law we derived the equation of magnetic field due to infinitely long current carrying conductor. Okay, now see what are the convention accepted by us. See, the current is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction. See the right hand thumb rule. See the magnetic field is coming out of the plane. Okay, that is towards the observer. Okay, and if the current is flowing in clockwise direction, okay, see here the current is in anti-clockwise direction. Current is then see the magnetic field is going inside the plane, perpendicular to the observer, moving away. Now, see in the beginning of the lesson we talked about magnetic field produced by current carrying circular ring. Now see what happened. If number of rings are wound on an insulating base, okay, close to each other, okay, so if the number of turns are wound on a insulating base, see this forms a new device called solenoid. Okay, so we can say a solenoid number of turns wound close to each other on insulating or non-conducting base. Okay, so we can consider solenoid as a number of circular rings, but that is wound on a insulating base. Now, suppose we connect a solenoid like this. Okay, see in one side it will be going inside the plane, and second side, let us say current direction is I. Okay, on the other side it will be out. So here also, if the current is in anti-clockwise direction, see the magnetic field will be shown by dot that is coming out of the plane. See on the opposite end, see, okay, now this end and this end, opposite end, it will be going inside the plane. So this will happen for number of turns wound to each other. So what will happen? See, outside the magnetic solenoid, the magnetic field will be 0. Same way it will be here. But see here, inside the solenoid, there is a uniform magnetic field. So this is about the solenoid. So what is a solenoid? See, a number of turns wound close to each other on an insulating base make a solenoid. Now see the word solenoid. That is our physics terminology. In a simple language, it is a magnetic switch. See, there are different type of solenoids. See, when we'll go in the engineering, okay, see there will be a separate topic for this. See, about 60-70 type of solenoid, each have a different application depending on the current flowing on it and the number of turns wound it. But here we have to study the basics of the solenoid. So now see the magnetic field of a solenoid we have seen. See here it is coming out of the plane, so I show like this. Same way on the opposite end, it is going inside the plane. Now we have to derive the equation of a magnetic field due to very long solenoid. Now see what is very long solenoid. See, if length of the solenoid is very large compared to its radius, then it is called okay. See, if the length of the solenoid is very large compared to its radius, that makes a long solenoid. Now see, we have to derive magnetic field due to very long solenoid. Okay, now this is a cross section of a solenoid. We can see Okay, now we have seen that inside the solenoid, a very long solenoid, see uniform magnetic field exists. That is, see the field lines are parallel. Now we have to use Ampere circuital law. Okay, now let us say our Amperian loop is like this. Okay, now see the length is of the loop is L. See, let in a very long solenoid, see the number of turns are N and the current flowing is I. Let number of turns in solenoid and current flowing Bi. See, by using Ampere circuital law, okay, or mu zero in the form of equation. See the line integral of magnetic field over a closed path. See this ABCD is our closed path is equal to mu zero into sigma I. Now see how here this our B integration DL is made up of 4 parts, that is for AB, BC, CD and DE. So one by one we find out for all 4 parts. So first part, let us say due to AB. But what we can see, this is perpendicular to the length. Okay, so that's why here it will be B into DL cos 90 will make 0. Okay, now similarly for the second part, CD B dot DL, here also see it is perpendicular, so we can say cos 90 value is 0, so this value also will become 0. Now see the third part is AD. Will be 0. Why? Because it is outside the magnetic field. So out of this 4 part, see the magnetic field due to 3 parts is 0. So we can say the part will contribute will be due to BC only. So we can write, see our left hand side, only part remains BC B dot DL. Okay. Now as we have seen, the number of turns is L, so it will be B N into L. See, this will be N number of turns, that's why it is B dot DL. See, this is the left hand side of the equation. See the right hand side of the equation, mu 0 and sigma I. See what is total current here, sigma I. See, N is the number of turns. Okay, I is the current and N is the length. Okay, so this will become NIL. Now we have used our equation. See, it is B dot DL. Okay, here the length is L only. Yes, so B into DL. Yeah. This part length is L only. So the left hand side will become BL. Why? What is the length of the BC here? Equal to L. And the right hand side, mu 0 into sigma I. See what is the total current contributed by N number of turns? Current is I and L is the length. So that will contribute to the total current. So if I compare left hand side and right hand side now, B into L is mu 0 NIL. So what we can say, this L is cancelled, is mu 0 NI. So we can say for a very long solenoid, see the magnetic field produced is B is equal to mu 0 into Ni. Now, many times it is given in terms of the length of the solenoid. So in that case, N we have to consider is N upon L. Sometimes they write capital N, then also it is okay. But for a very long solenoid, see the magnetic field is B is equal to mu 0 Ni. Mu 0 is a permeability of the vacuum. That value is 4 pi into 10 to minus 7, and Ks unit you are knowing. Okay, N is the number of turns and I is the current. So this is how we can find out the magnetic field due to very long solenoid. Now see, just now we have seen the magnetic field of a solenoid. Now see, solenoid is like this, number of turns wound on a insulating base. Now what happens if the end of the solenoid, let us say A and B, these are the turns wound on a, see, on a small tire tube, okay, or on a hollow circular ring, hollow circular tube, okay, આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહે મેંદુ વડા, or a cellotape નું ગુજરું. So if these turns between A and B are closely wound on a base like this, then it is called a solenoid. So see, the toroid is a hollow circular ring. Okay, now this is our hollow circular ring, that will be also insulating or non-conducting. Now large number of turns are closely wound it. See, just as in terms of solenoid, here also the turns are closely wound. Now see, by using the Ampere-Circuital law, we have to obtain the value of the magnetic field due to toroid. Now see this is a toroid. Now this is a cross section of a toroid. We can see this part. See, the magnetic field is going inside the plane, and here it is coming out of the plane. Now by using the Ampere-Circuital law, we derive the value of the magnetic field due to toroid. Now we consider 3 points. One point P, okay, which has a radius of R1. See the point Q, which is outside the toroid. Let us say its radius is R3. Now, and the point S, what we can see, the uniform magnetic field exists between these 2 points. So one is here, we can say again by the convention, one is coming out of the plane and second is going inside the plane. See, here the magnetic field is going inside the plane and here it is coming out of the plane. Now by using Ampere-Circuital law, okay, by using Ampere-Circuital law, we can find out the magnetic field of a toroid. Now let number of turns in toroid be n. Let current flowing in toroid is I. Okay. Now see, by symmetry the magnetic field will be tangential, okay, to each of them. Okay, by symmetry okay, see the magnetic field will be tangential and constant in magnitude. Okay, so the current is I and the number of turns is n. Okay, and the magnetic field is tangential. Now by using Ampere-Circuital law, okay, okay, see, we have to use B dot dl is mu 0 into sigma I. Now first at a point P, okay, see the radius of this loop will be R1, okay, radius of the loop is R1. Okay, now see B dot dl is mu 0 into sigma I. But what we can see here, see in the loop of radius R1, this is a point inside the toroid, no current flow through it. Okay, so here sigma I is 0. Okay, so that's why again B dot dl. Okay, so B will be 0. Okay, so if I want to find out magnetic field at a point P, that is a Amperian loop radius is R1, see the magnetic field will be 0. Now similar will be the case at a point Q. Okay, again B dot dl mu 0 into sigma I. See what we can see here also, no current flow. Okay, so that's why sigma I is 0. So we can write B dot dl so at a point Q, which has a loop of the Amperian loop of radius R3, see the magnetic field is 0. Now at point S, okay, now as I told, see the uniform magnetic field exists between these two regions and point S is lying within that region. So at a point S, now see the radius of the Amperian loop is R2, that is R. Okay, now see our equation B dot dl is mu 0 sigma I. Okay, now see the loop of the radius of the Amperian loop is R. So what will be this? Integration dl will be circumference of the Amperian loop, that is B into 2 pi R mu 0. Now sigma I, as I told, n number of turns are there and the current flowing is I, so total current will be Ni. So the right hand side will become Ni. So we can write B is equal to mu 0 Ni upon 2 pi R. Now see the useful relation. Okay, n is equal to n upon 2 pi R. Okay, that is the number of turns per unit length. Okay, so see our equation will become mu 0 Ni. You can see easily. See for a solenoid, very long solenoid also we derive such equation. B is equal to mu 0 Ni. So we have to remember here. See solenoid. Okay, sometimes it is capital N. See for toroid, n is equal to n upon 2 pi R. Okay, so this is a useful relation we have to remember, and we can obtain the value of the magnetic field due to toroid. Okay, see toroid, there are number of uses also. Okay, so it is used in a device called tokamak. Okay, that is used in some nuclear reactor. Okay, now this is about the magnetic field of a toroid. Now next we have to see the force acting on two current carrying parallel conductors. Now see in the beginning of the lesson, we derived the equation of a force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. See, it was like this. Let us say N and S. Now let us say the current carrying conductor I, length is L. See, we use the F is equal to I dl cross B, or the value of the force is mu 0. BIL. See, if I talk only the magnitude part, the force will be BIL. Okay. So now here the magnetic field was due to a bar magnet or a horseshoe magnet, okay, or a U-shaped magnet. But here we assume that, see, one of the conductor produces magnetic field and another conductor is placed in the region of the magnetic field of the first conductor. So this is how we have to proceed. So this can be asked in a 2-mark question. See, the derived equation of force acting between two parallel current carrying conductor, also defined one ampere current. Now we know SI unit of the current is 1 ampere. So here we will have a definition of 1 ampere current also. Now see this is an infinitely long conductor. Current is IA, A or we can say 1. Okay, consider carrying IA. Okay, now suppose we have to find out magnetic field at a point D, at a distance D. Okay, see the magnetic field. Okay, see we can say BA mu 0 IA 2 pi D. Okay, see this is the equation we derived. B is equal to mu 0 I upon 2 pi R. So current is IA, yes, and the distance is C. Now we say another conductor of length L and carrying current in the same direction. This is second conductor, we call as current IB. See another conductor carrying IB is placed at a distance D. Okay, length of this conductor is L. Now see the current in the second conductor is IB and the length is L. So what is the force acting on second conductor? That is FBA. See the force acting on conductor B or a second conductor is I. See we use the equation BIL. BA is the magnetic field produced. Say IB is the current in the second conductor and L is the length. See right now we write only the magnitude part. Okay. Now see BA is mu 0 IA upon 2 pi D. Current is IB, length is L. We can rearrange mu 0 IA IB L upon 2 pi D. Okay. Now this is the value of the magnitude of the force acting on a second current carrying conductor. Now we can prove mathematically if the current is in the same direction, there is a force of attraction, and current is in the opposite direction, there will be a force of repulsion. Now this also we can prove mathematically, but right now it is not in the scope of the textbook, so that's why we are not discussing. But see this also we can prove. Now see force per unit length, BA upon length, that is F, we can say mu 0 IA IB upon 2 pi D. Okay, now mu 0 is 4 pi into 10 to minus 7. So we can write FBA is 4 pi okay. So this is the value of the force acting between two parallel current carrying conductor. Now see next we have to see the definition of 1 ampere current. Let us say IB or I and IA is 1 ampere. See the distance is also. See the two conductors are separated by 1 meter. See the force per unit length. Okay, force per unit length. Okay, will be 2 into, see, IA is 1 ampere, IB is also 1 ampere, distance or a separation between two conductors is 1 meter. See, the force per unit length will be 2 into 10 to minus 7 Newton. So from this we can say that 1 ampere current is that current which, when flowing to infinitely long current carrying conductor, see, the separated by distance of 1 meter, force per unit length is 2 into 10 to minus 7 Newton. This is the definition of ampere, that is a SI unit of the electric current. So we can write like this: 1 ampere current is that current which, when flowing in to infinitely long conductor, separated by distance of 1 meter, force produced per unit length, per meter length. Okay, so we can say 1 ampere current is that current which, when flowing into two infinitely long parent conductor separated by a distance of 1 meter, see, the force per unit length will be 2 into 10 to minus 7. So this is the definition of 1 ampere current. Now see, our next topic is, see, the orbital magnetic moment. Okay, orbital magnetic moment of an electron revolving around nucleus. Okay, this also can be asked in a 2-mark question. Orbital magnetic moment of electron now let us say, see, the atom has a nucleus, atomic number is Z. So in nucleus we see the positive charge, so plus Z. Now we consider one electron which is moving around the nucleus in a circular path. Okay, now let R is the radius of circular path. Okay, now let speed of electron is v. Now see, the magnetic moment M is equal to given as M is equal to IA. Okay, magnetic moment is given as M is equal to IA. Now how do we find out current here? See, current is I is E upon T. Okay. Now see, uniform circular motion, speed is equal to distance upon time. So we can say T is equal to 2 pi R upon V. So our current will be E upon. Okay. Now see, the radius of the circular path is R. So area is pi R square. Okay, area is pi R square. Now see, the magnetic moment, that is called mu, or we say MO. Some of the book it is mentioned MO, that is orbital magnetic moment. Okay, or it is mu L. Okay, yes. Later on we have to relate with the angular momentum also. Now MO is I into A. I is EB upon 2 pi R. Area is pi R square. Okay, now we simplify 5. Okay, so what is left now? 1 by 2 EBR. So mu is nothing but orbital okay. Now Next, we have to relate with the angular momentum. Now see, the angular momentum we have studied. Formula is L is equal to R cross P. See, if I write only the magnitude part, Rp. See, P is a linear momentum that is known to us. So, angular momentum is mvr. Now here we have equation mu L is 1 by 2 mvr. See what I have done? Multiply and divide by m. Okay. Now this mvr is angular momentum L. Some of the book they mention capital L also. Okay. So our angular momentum, see our orbital magnetic moment will become E upon m into L. Okay. Now see, it is a vector quantity. See, the magnetic moment also is a vector quantity. Angular momentum also is a vector quantity that we have to keep in mind. Okay. So in the form of vector, in the vector form, Em upon m. Now see, this ratio E upon 2m is about 8.8 into 10 to 10 coulomb per kg. Okay. E upon m is called the, okay, 10 to 10. You can substitute the values. Charge of the electron known to us, mass of the electron is also known to us. So E upon m is called gyromagnetic. Okay. So this is about the orbital magnetic moment of electron revolving around the nucleus. Now see, to what we have seen today. Today we saw about magnetic field of a solenoid and a toroid. We also discuss about the orbital magnetic moment of electron revolving around nucleus. Thank you.